As an intended psychology major, I have such a love and profound interest for the psychology realm and mental illnesses in general. I grew up with a lot of mental illnesses, and even though they hindered my daily functioning, I learned to see it as a blessing to understand the how and why between life and how our actions reflect our thoughts. Last year in my AP research class, I conducted a paper and a case study on how OCD mindsets that we're born with actually translate into future anorexia. This fueled my interest for research and creativity in order to understand the inner workings of life and God's creation. Thinking outside the box from abstract ideas in order to create a logical solution is very interesting to me and leads me to my next interest. I've been writing poetry since I was about 10 years old. Poetry is my way of taking my concrete ideas and emotions and putting them down tangibly on paper. Not only is it a creative outlet, but it's also a spiritual experience as I express my deep emotions to God, just as David did in the Psalms. I enjoy writing abstractly, so it takes time and effort to unveil its true complex meaning because so much can be placed into a few words. As you can probably tell, the relationship between logicality and abstractness is very intriguing to me. I have written hundreds of poems, but here are two of my favorites that I want to share with you. The last big part of me individually is nature. Just like psychology, I have an overarching love for things and how things work. I enjoy appreciating God's creation, from the little things like bugs to the big things like the mountains. Next, I will broaden it out into how I work in relation to others in an external notion. Growing up, I suffered from really bad social anxiety, and it was very hard for me to speak to anyone. Even though it was a difficult time and I've now found my voice, I'm thankful for how it shaped me in a social manner. It's given me a newfound love to notice things first and to observe things before putting in my own input, just as I do with nature. People still often mistake me for being shy and quiet, but I just really like to prefer to listen, observe, and analyze before I speak my own opinion. Lastly, I'll talk about my empathy and how I see it as a superpower. I've always been a very super empathetic and sympathetic person, but little did I know empathy goes beyond just sharing same experiences. I often feel other people's emotions in my soul and can tell that they aren't my own. This happens with people I'm close to and even with people I don't even know. I believe it's the Holy Spirit empowering me to feel for others. I've mentally struggled for a majority of my life, so I feel this is God's way of using my ability to feel in order to connect with others and take the focus off myself. For example, this summer I served in Minnesota with Young Life with people I'd never met before. One night, a girl that I barely knew came up to me and started crying in my arms. She only said a couple words about what was going on with her, and even though I'm not a crier, I immediately started crying with her and felt what she felt. I also found myself praying over her without even thinking about what to say.